If you don't cultivate, you don't expand, you don't train your brain in your late 20s, you are going to face a lot of challenges, especially in your 40s and your 50s, because science dictates that the human brain stops growing or expanding, expanding when you reach 30, when you reach 31 or 32. Like at the age of 31 to 32, your brain will stop expanding, your brain will stop growing, stop, your brain will stop like growing. Let me put that way. Your brain will stop growing. And if you don't train your brain in your late 20s, like from 26, 27, 28 to your 30 to reach that 31 to 32, when your brain will stop completely to grow, bro, you are going to face difficulties in your 40s and in your 50s. Let me take an example. You see a 52 years old man. The guy is behaving like a child who is 15 years. The guy is behaving like as an adult of 17 years. You see a 54 years old man. The guy is acting, behaving, talking like he's in his early 20s. It is because they did not take time to grow, expand, and train their brain in their late 20s. You see, someone is 60 years old, he ran behind small girls. That is the that is the problem that he had in his late 20s. If you don't grow your brain in your late 20s, once you reach 31, 32, your brain will stop growing. The things that you used to do in your 20s to that 31 years old, you are going to repeat the same thing. That is why you see people in their 70s, in their 60s, in their 50 and 40, they're behaving like small boys. They're doing things that boys are doing. If you are in your 20s, especially the late 20s, listening to this video, sit down, start growing. Start growing in a way that start growing, start learning, start reading. If you have time to travel, to learn new things, do that. But if you don't do that when you reach 32, just know that in your in your 30 above, you are going to repeat the same life that you were living, and it is going to be frustrating, because at that point, even for you to manage your emotions, it will be very difficult for you. You see people in their 50s, 40s, they can't even manage their emotions. Small problem like this, they are frustrated, they are lost in life. It is because they didn't train their brain in their late 20s. Train your brain in your late 20s, because if you don't do that, you are going to repeat the same life that you have lived throughout your entire life. You see old parents in their 70s, 60s, 40, 50, they behave like they're in their 15, 22, 21. Especially this problem has to do with people in their 50s. They suffer a lot, especially late 45 to 50. They are really in problem. Late 40, like from 45 to 50, they're almost in trouble because they didn't train their brain in their late 20s. If you're in your late 20s, make sure sit down, train your brain, expand your brain, do many things, because at 31 your brain will stop growing and you are going to repeat the same cycle of the life that you have lived in this side of the life. Like this side of the life, if you don't train your brain here, you are going to take the same year and put there, and and your life is going to be the same. You re- like you are in your 50, you still like, for you sex is still the same as you used to be in your 20s. You still have that eager. You are still chasing behind. You are still chasing behind this